Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new podcast called CARZ. As the name suggests, we'll be talking only about cars, nothing else. On our first episode, we have with us a legend, a myth of off roading. We have Robin with us today. Robin FJ, that's his name on my phone. So, Robin, Robin is an off-roader. He is an off-road enthusiast. He loves off-roading more than anything on this planet. So let's get to know more about off-roading from Robinson. So Robinson, how did you get a passion to off-road?
Thanks, Rishin. I think that would have actually started very early in my childhood days. My dad was an off-roader as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but back then it wasn't about, the Sun Patrols and FJ Cruisers. Back then it was like whatever is an SUV or a 4x4,
Anything is it?
Yeah. So we had, the earliest I recall is we had one of those classic Cherokees. We had a Pathfinder after that. We had a Land Cruiser. We had a Ford Explorer. We had a Chevrolet Tahoe. So it began with those.
So it's all SUVs.
All SUVs from the earliest I can recall. I mean, before the Cherokee was an Accord, but yeah. We used to participate in Gulf News fund drives.
Okay, that was pretty popular back. They've been popular for quite some time now.
Exactly.
Even recently, I saw a car with Gulf News fund drive.
Yeah, it's been like, I think, maybe close to 2.5 decades now, I'm assuming. 2 decades for sure.
Oh.
And that's the earliest I recall. So the first one I went with him, the very first fun drive we had done was, if I'm not mistaken, would have been around 99 or 2000.
Oh.
In the year 99 or 2000. Yeah. I was very young. So it probably began from, back then.
So Robinson, what was your most memorable off-roading adventure?
I remember I think it was 2003. I was a kid, of course. I didn't even have my license, right?
Okay.
My dad had a Land Cruiser and we had gone for the fun drive in 2003. It was around December 2003. And so you have multiple trails, you've got multiple terrains,
Yeah.
There was this one dune, which was, it took us quite some time to climb up the dune. And when we finally got there, the trail, or rather the path that we had to follow, was on a dip. Like we had to drop down the dune.
Okay.
And the incline would have been probably around like a 70-degree incline.
Oh, that's steep.
It was almost vertical.
Yeah.
It was extremely steep. Maybe like 65, 70-degree incline. So my dad was approaching the dune, like to go down. And on the base of the dune, there was this photographer from Gulf News.
Right.
And he saw that and he left everything aside. He came running and he was waving at my dad. He's like, wait, let me get this on camera.
Okay.
So he just left everything. He just, like, I think he was having tea. He just threw his tea and he came running.
Content from 2003. Everyone's
2003,
content.
exactly. So he came quickly and he was like, okay, let's go. So he got the picture when my dad was like midway through the dune. And that picture actually did get posted in Gulf News back in 2003 in the papers. Yeah.
That's great.
This was probably like way before we had social media.
Yeah, I mean, newspaper was a social media
exactly,
back then,
exactly. Yeah,
I remember back in the days, if Gulf News had this tabloid, that was like our Instagram back then.
Yes, exactly.
So things have changed a lot.
Oh, a lot.
But when you told me that you had a Pathfinder as well,
yeah,
I feel like Pathfinder is a car that a lot of people begin with. I have 2 friends who have Pathfinders.
Right.
They started with that. Now they have Land Cruiser.
Right.
So they've put the balloon tires and all that.
Right.
And they go like proper full-fledged.
I'll tell you why that is, Rishin. The reason behind that is the older Pathfinders, the classic shapes, they used to come with an inline 6-cylinder engine.
Oh.
Which is the same engine which is used in Jeep Cherokees, is the same one used in the Sun Patrols,
Right.
the Safaris. So that is actually a very powerful car when you have that engine. Which is why the older ones used to always begin with Pathfinders. And now what happens is, you have to understand when you are going off-roading, you may not want to spend heavy budget
Yeah.
Because you know you are going to take your car off-roading. You're going to probably have things that have to be modified, things that have to be repaired frequently. So you would want to take something which doesn't probably break down so often.
Exactly.
Right?
Something that's more reliable.
More reliable, and something that doesn't break your bank. Right? So because of that, Pathfinders became extremely popular.
A lot of people, like even Pathfinder and Cherokee. Cherokee, it's always been the same.
Exactly.
The Grand Cherokee, not the Grand Cherokee, the
Cherokee
Wrangler,
Classic.
the Cherokee, the classic one with the round lights.
Exactly.
Those are like some
Those were
good
crazy
things.
good.
And they even had the SRT 10, the 10 cylinder one.
Yes.
That was something else.
Yes, that was.
But I don't think it came in Dubai.
No, it didn't get released.
Yeah, it was in US and.
Yeah, you would have to import it.
Yeah,
you would have the
import
American spec basically.
So Robinson, where do you find these trails to have such off-road adventures? Where can people actually go and see where they can do it?
10 to 15 years back, what used to happen is off-road groups were very less. So back then it was all about, finding trails, and you would use any kind of source that you have to find these trails in UAE. Now, back then we had these really thick books. It was called Off-Road UAE or Explorer UAE or something like that. There were multiple different editions of it, which would show you different types of trails, whether you want to drive through sand, you want to drive through rocks, things like that. The wadis in Ras Al Khaimah, for example. So we used to use that back in the day. And now in modern times, what's happening is there are a lot of off-road groups, and you join these groups. When you join these groups, you join as a beginner, irrespective of what level you are on. And as and when you go off-roading with them, you discover different trails, you discover new areas. Okay. The more groups you are a part of, the more trails you will probably discover.
Okay. So that's how we used to do it.
That's how we do it now. Apart from that, there is also a website called alltrails.com. I've tried taking some trails from this website as well. It's pretty good.
It's good, huh?
It's pretty good, yes.
And because why I asked this once, my friend and I, we were planning as friends to go for an off-roading thing, and we don't know where to go. So he's like, we can go in Alain Road, just open Google Maps. Wherever you see sand, take the car there. And we actually did that.
Yeah.
And we got stuck. So we got stuck in We got stuck in Kudra.
Okay, but you didn't know you were in Kudra.
Yeah, so we had to, I mean, we knew it was Kudra, but we went a bit off from there.
Yeah.
And then it was soft sand everywhere.
Right.
So what happened is, we tried removing the car out. Nothing's happening. And one of my friends, he actually dressed up so well because he wanted to take photos and all that. So, and then he ended up digging the sand the entire day. And we couldn't find anyone, and then they walked. They're like, let's just find someone. Yeah. They followed the smell of barbecue. And like dogs, they reached the place where the lake is. They got a family in. Okay, so this is a crazy story. In fact, I can actually tell you about this. So then what happened is they came in. So it was a family of, it's a big family, 8 people. They're all friends. I don't know what it is, but they had like 3 cars. Okay. So I clearly remember they had the Land Rover Discovery, they had a GMC, and they had a Prado. Okay. 3 of these cars they had, and they came. They're like, okay, let's try getting the car out. They had the belt and all that. We had absolutely nothing. We are so confident that we are gonna go through the sand like it's a road, and we went with absolutely nothing, just water and my well-dressed friend, nothing else. So, and then what happened was they came, we started at 6:30 or 7, till 10 o'clock, they couldn't get us out. We were trying, they're also trying, 3 hours, and I really appreciate that. Finally, they're like, guys, we'll drop you guys to the place. You can call the rescue team or something, and then because we can't do anything. And we also respect that because they have kids as well with them. So they have to be home. So we're like, okay, cool. Just drop us somewhere. Yeah. And then we all sat in the car. Yeah. We reached that junction. Now that place is completely changed. It's fully, it's done commercialized. Yeah. Right. Back then it was just a roundabout with a cafeteria and a grocery. So he dropped us next to the cafeteria, and we asked the guy if we had to give the cable back, right? So the belt. So then I asked the cafeteria guy, where can I buy a belt from? He's like, you can't buy a belt anywhere from here and all that. So right next to that, there was a Nissan Patrol. Now that's a Super Safari, okay? Balloon tires and all that. And this guy, the cafeteria guy, was like, you know what? Why don't you ask the guy? They might be able to help.
Right.
These Arab guys, they always do this.
They always do. They're very helpful. Extremely helpful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we went inside and we are like, we went next to him. We're like, he asked, what's the problem? We told our car got stuck. He's like, okay, where is it? I'm like, there. He's like, okay, come. We'll get it out. I'm like, I need to get the belt. He's like, no, give them the belt. Okay. And then it's a manual. I guess it's a Motex done for sure. There's a turbo as well. And these guys are Emirati guys. Chill. Okay. They got their shawarma, their juice, everything. They're like, you guys want anything to eat? They even offered us to eat. Have something to eat. And then we went. We showed them where the car was. And Robinson, this guy saw the car. He said, you guys get out. Okay, we got out. He told his friend something in Arabic. They went. He had like this cable, very slim cable. Like, I guess that's iron or something.
It's the winch.
The winch.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's attached to the front bumper.
No, but his was not to the front bumper.
Okay.
He had some weird kind of thing. It was not as thick
It's
as
an
the other
external
one.
winch then, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
External one. Maybe. And then he attached it to the car.
Okay.
30 seconds he pulled the car out. And he did not pull the car out. He dragged the car all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and then his friend was kind enough because he knew that we are going to mess it up again. So he's like, I'll take you guys out of here. And then he put it in a place where it's nice to drive.
Right.
And then they're like, where can we find gazelles? Okay, then he just took the car, he floored it, and the turbo, and he just went. We can't find him. It's full sand everywhere.
Yeah.
But that was one heck of an experience, you know. And for me, like, I'm not a big off-roading guy. I'm more into, Porsches and 911s, all that.
Right.
So that actually, like, that's when I got a lot of respect for Nissan Patrols. But apart from that, like, a lot of people there's always this confusion between Land Cruiser and Super Safari.
Always.
Now, let me ask the most
It's a very big dilemma.
So what do you think is the best? What would you choose?
Honestly, Rishin, it's $1 million question. It's very difficult to say.
It is actually.
I would choose both. If I could just have both. Like it's.
You're not the first one. I've had so many of my friends who tell me this that I want both.
Yeah.
Because there's no other option. You know?
I mean, you have Toyota on one hand. That's extremely reliable.
Yeah.
You've got Nissan on the other hand, which is also extremely reliable. They both have similar shapes. They have similar engine capacities.
Engine capacity as well.
They have similar features. They have got similar off-roading capabilities, right? So that being said, it is an extremely difficult decision to just take one. I would honestly have to take both.
What is your dream car?
Well, Jeep Cherokee Trackhawk.
The Grand Cherokee. But
Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Previously, it used to be SRT8.
Yeah.
The Grand Cherokee
now
SRT8.
It's a Trackhawk with the 710 horsepower.
Exactly.
But they're going out of production. They've got the last call engines out.
I guess I should go and pick up one soon then.
You'll have to pick it up. Because the thing is that my sister, she had a Charger.
Right.
So she sold it like 2 years back.
Okay.
3 years back actually. And then again, she wanted to go back to Dodge. So we went, test drove the Challenger, the 5.7 Hemi. But, she wanted the car a lot. Like she loved it. That exhaust.
Yeah.
That throaty V8.
You feel it when you're driving the car.
Yeah. And in fact, the salesman was such an amazing salesperson.
Yeah.
The way he just explained how the car, the V8s are going to end, right? Was so emotional. It's like you're in a movie,
Right.
He's like, this is it, man. This is it. You're not going to get this again.
You have to just pick it up.
Yeah. And the thing is that my sister was ready to get the V8 again. She's like, she had the Charger. We'll go ahead with the Challenger. But the problem is that her job now, she has a lot of driving to do. So she travels around 90 kilometers to 100, 120 kilometers a day, like up and down. She goes for audits, this, that. Not practical for her.
Yeah. No.
So she bought the GR86.
GRE. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're getting it tomorrow or day after.
Nice. Land Cruiser GR86.
Not
Which one?
The GR86.
Uh,
The coupe. The old GT86.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
they've,
Yes.
The chassis is the same,
Yeah.
but they've tweaked the engine a bit. It's
Okay.
got like 30 horsepower more, and
Oh,
it's
nice.
brilliant. It's amazing. So
Honestly, since I've gotten into off-roading, I've had like all my car time just goes on to off-road stuff.
off-road
so-
stuff, yeah, I can understand. When you're telling me off-road things, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Because for me, I'm
Yeah.
more into road cars,
Right.
and he's more into off-roading cars.
Yeah.
So that's why we are different. So thank you everyone for joining us in this episode of Car with Robinson FJ.
Thank
He
you,
drives
guys.
an FJ Cruiser and he's an off-roader. So if at all you get stuck like me, I'll leave the number below for
Absolutely
Robinson.
fine. Absolutely fine.
So thank you. Thank you, Robinson,
Thank you.
for joining.
Thank you, guys.